Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Grover Cleveland Middle School. As a part of our 100th year anniversary, welcome to our first annual Veterans Day program. Today, we gather to honor the brave men and women who have served our country with courage, sacrifice, and dedication. We take this time to recognize their commitment to protecting our freedoms and ensuring the safety of our nation. At this time, I would like to introduce Grover Cleveland Middle School Vice President, Antonio Tucci.
He asks that everybody please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing as our band, under the direction of Miss Chen, and our chorus, under the direction of Miss Creel, perform our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner.
Today, we are honored to welcome a very special guest speaker who will share his reflections on the meaning of veterans. Jonathan Lace served in the United States Air Force as a computer systems operator at the United States Strategic Command at OFA Air Force Base in Omaha, Nebraska. He and his family have lived in Caldwell since 2011. He served as councilman on the Caldwell Borough Council from 2018 to 2023. He currently teaches computer science and aerospace at Seton Hall Preparatory School, where he has taught for the last 19 years. He is a certified private pilot, a qualified transport mission pilot in Civil Air Patrol, and serves as aircrew for the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary Flotilla 10-20, Air Station Caldwell in the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Please welcome me in joining Mr. Jonathan Lace.
Party platform statement. Instead, just as we just did, we voluntarily pledged our allegiance to a symbol of a free country where something called liberty guarantees that people use their God-given rights as they wish, with its only limitation being the respect of the same rights of others. This is the United States of America. It was handed down to us by men and women who dared to risk their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor for the chance to live in a free country, one that is not ruled by a monarch. Our forebears created a constitution so that we could govern ourselves in a republic, not an empire. But here's the catch. America is only ever as free as it is defended from those who would seek to destroy it. So throughout the last 249 years, there have been men and women who have been willing to miss time with their families, willing to miss all the comforts and conveniences of living at home, and willing to risk their very lives in order to ensure that you can enjoy all the aforementioned benefits and privileges of being a citizen of this country. These are people that we honor today at this school assembly, and whom the nation honors tomorrow. They have pledged their loyalty not to any one president or military leader or any one political party. Rather, they have sworn an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. I am talking about veterans. Veterans Day was originally celebrated as Armistice Day in 1919 to mark the end of World War I, which ended on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. In 1954, under Public Law 380, signed by President Dwight Eisenhower, himself a veteran, it was renamed Veterans Day. So on Veterans Day, America celebrates her veterans with assemblies like this, solemn programs in the town square, and festive parades like the one in New York City, in which I have been privileged to march alongside my active duty shipmates as a member of the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary. In his proclamation of this day, the President stated that the best way we could honor veterans was to work for what he called an enduring peace. So, if you enjoy the blessings of living in the United States of America, all those things that I mentioned at the beginning, and want to honor those who make liberty possible every single day, the absolute best way that you can do that is by dedicating yourself to promoting peace with all people, starting right here with your classmates at Grover Cleveland Middle School. Here at school, you are all practicing for living lives as adult citizens. So the better you get at creating an enduring peace here, the better able you will be able to create peace when you are adults. And that is something that our world desperately needs. Finally, let me leave you all with a challenge. Veterans have risked everything for liberty. What have you risked? At your age, what can you risk? You can take the risk to be an informed citizen, to be able to recite from memory the second sentence of the Declaration of Independence, or their rights protected by the First Amendment to the Constitution. You can take the risk of spending as much time reading books or discussing current events with your peers as you do scrolling through social media. You can take the risk of learning more about local veterans who gather every month right down the road at the American Legion on Bloomfield Avenue. Nothing would make a Veterans Day more meaningful than to have a Grover Cleveland Middle School student take the initiative to learn more about them, where and when and why they served. Veterans are the reason that we have lived in liberty for 249 years. And as we honor them today, let us do so not just with words or applause, but how we live every day. Because veterans risk everything for America, let us take the risk to be better Americans. Thank you.
Missouri and chose to serve as a military police officer, motivated by his goal to become a police officer in the civilian sector. After completing his training, Matthew began classes at Montclair State University, but soon received deployment orders in Afghanistan. From July 2012 to June 2013, Matthew served in Kabul, Afghanistan, where he continued his education through online class, working 12-hour shifts 7 days a week. Upon his return, Matthew resumed online classes, applied to police academics, and fulfilled his obligations with the New Jersey Armed National Guard. Matthew earned acceptance into Morris County Police Academy, where he completed another 6 months of demanding training. Following his graduation, he initiated a civilian law enforcement career with Randolph Township Police Department in June 2014. With ambitions to join a larger agency, he transferred to the Newark Police Department in July 2017. Matthew served in various capacities, including patrol, major crime divisions as shooting team detective, emergency services, and narcotics. Presently, in his 12th year as a police officer, he possesses a bachelor's degree in Homeland Security and Emergency Management. He is currently pursuing promotion to the rank of sergeant within the Newark Police Department. Matthew's dedication and service exemplifies the values of leadership and courage that we hope to inspire in all of our students. We thank him for his commitment to our country. Please welcome up to the stage Matthew O'Hearn.
What's up, Caldwell? Nice to be back. Been a little bit. Thank you, Grover Cleveland Middle School, especially the principal, Mr. Bartolo. I think this is a very nice and honoring assembly that is going to be annual from this point going forward. The plaque that I was given is something that I'll hold special to my heart. It means a lot. First, I want to apologize for not wearing my uniform, but I joined the military at 18 years old, and now I'm 32 years old, so I'll be a little bit small. I also want to recognize my grandfather, who's here today, Charles Albert. He's a veteran himself of the United States Air Force and the United States Army. He walked the halls of this school when it was Grover Cleveland High School, graduating in 1955, before the majority of us were even a thought. To all the students sitting around, I want to tell you, I sat in your seat and it was not easy. I get it. I know it's hard. 6th, 7th, and 8th grade is a challenge. There's some teachers that are still here. One that I saw, Miss Lovato, was my math teacher. And I will tell you that the importance of these grades are more than any of you could recognize at this time. Set the bar high, follow your dreams. No matter what it is that you want to do, you can achieve if you put your mind to it. I want to leave you all with a quote in a world full of hate today. Use your smile to change the world. Don't let the world change your smile. Again, thank you. You all be safe, and God bless the United States of America.
Everyone knows the patriotic song, America the Beautiful. What you may not know is that the melody was written here in New Jersey. Samuel Ward, in 1882, while employed by Grace Episcopal Church in Newark, composed a tune to be set to the lyrics of a hymn. It was later paired with lyrics written by Catherine Lee Bates from a poem titled Pike's Peak, for a 4th of July church periodical in 1895. The lyrics were set to Ward's melody in 1910. The 7th and 8th grade orchestra worked with Mr. Downey to craft this arrangement together. We chose which instrument groups or sections got the melody and when, and what the accompanying sections would play. Listen for a quiet solo. A single section featured playing the melody, passed around the first time through the tune. Then the whole orchestra plays as one the second time through. In honor of the veterans here today, please enjoy our arrangement of America the Beautiful.
next honoree is Mackenzie Courtright, GCMS class of 2016. 2LT Mackenzie Courtright graduated from the United States Military Academy at West Point in 2024 with a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. During her time as a cadet, she participated in the cadet exchange with the Lithuanian Military Academy, interned at the Sandia National Labs, participated in a nuclear wargaming summit at the Naval Postgraduate School, and shadowed the National Nuclear Security Agency in Washington, D.C. 2LT Courtright branched aviation and hosted the Fort Rucker, Alabama in June 2024, where she began flight school. Currently, 2LT Courtright has completed her training on the UH-72 Lakota and is waiting to start the course for her advanced airframe at the AH-64 Apache. Mackenzie's decision to serve represents the strength, determination, and community pride that defines Grover Cleveland Middle School graduates. We are honored to recognize her contributions and express our deepest gratitude. We thank her for her commitment to our country. Please welcome up to the stage Mackenzie Courtright.
Everyone hear me? Yeah. All right. Let's see. Feels weird being back here. Let's see. I'm going to age some of the teachers. It was only 10 years ago that I was in 8th grade. See, where's knowledge sitting? That was my house. You better win this year. But yeah, as I was saying, it's been only 10 years since I was here as an 8th grader walking through these halls, going to iSTEM, and going to gym and just enjoying time in the halls. And I thought, yeah, it's going to be forever before I graduate, get out of the high school, go to college, go do anything. It's not that long, guys. Take advantage of the opportunities here in the middle school. For those of you going to 9th grade next year, take advantage of the classes in the high school, the clubs, the opportunities, sports. Enjoy your time with your friends. I still have contact with someone that I met in 6th grade. We went out to lunch the other day. And we're both doing great. Enjoy your friendships. Make the most of your time. 10 years isn't that fast.
Our next song is called Thankfully. This song is a tribute to all who have served and continue to serve our country. It expresses our deep gratitude for the courage, sacrifice, and dedication of our veterans. We hope you enjoy Thankfully.
Now in the Our final honoree is Brian Bergen from the GCMS class of 1993. Brian Bergen is a dedicated public servant, accomplished business leader, and proud U.S. Army veteran who has built his life around service to his country, his community, and his family. A 2001 graduate of the United States Military Academy at West Point, Brian served for 8 years as an officer in the U.S. Army, including a combat tour in Iraq as an Apache helicopter pilot, where he earned several commendations, including a Bronze Star and the Combat Action Badge. His military experience continues to shape his strong sense of duty, accountability, and commitment to teamwork. After leaving active duty, Brian transitioned successfully into the private sector, taking on a range of leadership roles across finance, operations, and executive management. His career reflects a steady rise through diverse industries and responsibilities, from managing complex operations to guiding companies through growth and change. Today, he is the owner of A&B Stainless Valve, a company specializing in high-performance industrial valves. Brian holds a bachelor's degree of science from West Point and an MBA from Rutgers Business School. Beyond his professional and military accomplishments, Brian has dedicated years to public service and at the local, state, and state level. His record includes serving on his community zoning board, planning board, and town council, where he earned a reputation for pragmatic problem solving and fiscal responsibility. Today, as a New Jersey State Assemblyman, he continues to champion policies that promote government accountability, support veterans, and empower small businesses. Brian has not only served our nation with distinction, but has also continued his commitment to public service and his community. His dedication reminds us all of the lasting impact of service and the importance of giving back. We thank him for his commitment to our country. Please welcome up to the stage Brian Bergen.
Ready, Pep? I'm on. Good afternoon, everybody. Or good morning. My apologies. First of all, I just want to thank the speakers who came before me for your service. You know, now is really a time for us to reflect on that, and I just genuinely appreciate everything that you've done for our country. As you mentioned before, my name is Brian Bergen. I was class in 1993, and man, really, do I feel like the old guy in the room. I gotta tell you. You know, I was getting all depressed because there were no teachers here who were my teachers. And that's really means you're pretty old. But then Mr. Touchcoin, I saw him walk in, so thank goodness. There's still somebody left. You know, I was thinking before I came in here, I don't remember one assembly in the whole time that I was at Grove Cleveland Middle School. So I want to try my best to leave you with something that maybe, possibly, you have some takeaway from me that can make a tiny bit of difference in your life. So I'm going to give it my best shot. You know, a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago actually, I found myself down in North Carolina. And I happened to be at Fort Bragg in 2004 into 2005, and I deployed from Fort Bragg to Iraq that year. And so I was down there for business, and I decided it would be a good idea to go see my old base. So I went and stayed the night down there at Fort Bragg, just outside of Fort Bragg. And the next morning, before I went and did my business stuff, I got up and I drove onto the base. Now, all I wanted to do was buy a t-shirt. 82nd Airborne t-shirt or 18th Airborne Corps, and go about my day. Maybe take a look around, get something to eat, see a couple soldiers. That was my plan. But somehow on my way in there, I just started automatically driving. You know when you don't drive yet, kids, but for the teachers in the room. You know, you just start driving, your memory takes you, you go somewhere, you don't even know where you're going. And that happened to me. And I ended up back at the hangar that I deployed from. The last place I was on U.S. soil before I spent a year in Iraq. the last place that several of my friends ever set foot on U.S. soil. And I pulled up there and I pulled in the car and I sat over by this dumpster in the corner all by myself. And I saw this young soldier come up, young sergeant. And I got out of the car and I went over to him and I said, "Hey, Sergeant, do you remember, is this where the 229th was?" He's like, "I don't know, sir, but how long ago was that?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I really am a pretty old guy." So I talked to him for a little bit and I learned all about what was happening at the barracks, or at the building now. And he left and I sat down in my car. Admittedly, I was crying a little bit because looking at the buildings, I could still see the people there. I could still see my guys working before we left. I could still see the formations of the flight line before we took off. I could still vision that, and it made me cry. And then I started to think about that sergeant who was there, and he is as far away from me as I was from the Vietnam veterans when I was in. And the kids here in 6th grade, you are as far away from him as he is from me. And what I realized then, in some kind of weird way, was that, us veterans, we all represent a tiny little snapshot in time. We're all basically the same people that in different moments in time got up in service of our country. I did it in a war you will come to know if you don't study it yet, which you probably don't, as the war for Iraqi freedom, which I have mixed emotions about nowadays, but that's the war that I participated in. Mackenzie here, fresh new second lieutenant, will have her own war in her own time. Matt spent his time in Afghanistan. We all have a different way to participate in moving our nation forward. And some of you in this room will too. An interesting fact, I was the last West Point grad from last West Point grad from Grover Cleveland High School, or from James Cole High School in Mackenzie. 20-something years later, it was me and now her. And I gotta tell you, breaking from the script here, I am so friggin' proud of you, Mackenzie, because not only are you continuing the West Point tradition that Culpepper and Delora did before me, and I followed them, and ultimately you were following me to West Point, but you had this intellect to choose the right aircraft to be an Apache helicopter pilot. So I'm so proud of you for what you will do, for what Matt and I and some of the other people here have already done, that you will ultimately do to keep everybody here safe. And that's to the rest of you. I want you to know that one day you're going to do something awesome, whether it's serving your country or something else. I'm already pretty proud of you. And I'm going to leave you with this. And this is the thing I hope you take away. You'll forget everything else I said, I understand that. But I want you to take away this last thing. One of the most impactful things that's ever happened to me in my entire life happened to me 2 days ago. Just 2 days ago. I was sitting at home, working on my computer in my kitchen, and my son, who's 13 years old, an 8th grader, was walking up the stairs, and he stopped midway up the stairs and said, "Dad, I've never said this to you, but thank you for your service." And I want all of you to know, in my whole life, all my accomplishments, all the speeches, all the awards, everything that's ever happened to me, that 1 second of my life is the best thing that's ever happened to me. So please, take that away and understand, there's a veteran out there somewhere that may not have children, that may not have a son or daughter willing to say that to him. And if you take this couple seconds to tell a veteran, thank you for your service, you're likely to make a moment that special in their life. Thank you so much.
service.
Don't thank me for nothing.
Well, you're here at the 5. Thank you for your service.
Go, Vincent.
Finally, we will perform the Armed Forces Medley, honoring each branch of our military. As we play the theme song for you, for your branch, we invite you to stand if you are able, so we may recognize your service and show our appreciation.
As we conclude today's ceremony, we extend our deepest thanks to all of our veterans, past and present, for their service and sacrifice. We also thank our performers, our directors, and any special guests for helping make this day meaningful. Let us remember that every day is an opportunity to show appreciation for those who served. Thank you again for joining us and honoring our heroes today. I would like everyone to please stand where they are and give one big round of applause for Matthew, Mackenzie,